Hello, welcome to the G.I. Joe New News Classified Reviews. My name is David T. Allen, or if you would like, Super Dave 817. If you would like to see more of this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button for future videos. Thank you and enjoy.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Classified Review. I am David Allen. If you'd like, you can call me Super Dave. Thank you for joining us in the chat today. We are talking about number 116, Quick Kick. Finally in the line. Character that we thought we would get a lot earlier because of the simplicity of the figure, but we had to wait till 116 to get to him. So I got a few things I want to talk to you about Quick Kick. So Quick Kick is an interesting character because of his Sunbow inspiration and the way that he was portrayed in Sunbow. He was an actor and he was kind of shilling, I guess you could call it, or representing a company that he was filming a ad for, the Fudgy Bars ad that he was doing out there in the Arctic when he met the Joe team and stuff like that. So his first appearance in G.I. Joe Sunbow was not that great. I think his appearance in the comics is a lot better. So there was a bit of a weird connotation with Quick Kick for many years. People do love Fudgy Bars and stuff like that, and we're going to get into that in a little while. But I always felt he was a little bit weird. Now, I met the actor that did the voice of Quick Kick last year at Joe Fest. He was a really, really nice guy. So I think if you have that opportunity, you should try to meet some of these voice actors. They're really cool. Francois Chow is the voice of Quick Kick. He was a very nice guy. So let's get into a little bit of his history with the Creating G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero by Dan Klingensmith Jr. This is volume 5 that has Quick Kick. Let's see, I didn't separate it out the way I usually do. There he is. Quick Kick. So there you go. Nice piece of artwork. There's a lot of different design turnarounds there. Can't see them. Yeah, you can see them there. And then on the other page, you can see them as well. Make sure we get a good view of that over there. All right. So then, let's see. I think that is it for Quick Kick. There's a lot of that was another person's page that I was showing over there. So it says alternate names: Typhoon, Snap Kick, and Jade Tiger were some of the alternate names. Year release 1985, designed by Ron Rudad. Wearing a sash with throwing stars, Quick Kick was loosely based on Bruce Lee, giving him a sword and nunchucks. Quick Kick could take out any unsuspecting Cobra troops with a swift kick to the head or knock them out with his nunchucks. There you go. And they have a little bit of that on one of these pieces of artwork right here. The nunchucks and his throwing stars and stuff like that. So then we're going to go into his vintage package. His vintage package was, find it. There you go. Vintage package for Quick Kick. Next to Ripper. There. Really cool. So he has his backpack and his nunchucks and a sword and that sash that they mentioned, they called out in that. And then his first appearance was issue 146 of G.I. Joe: Real American Hero during the 80s by Larry Hama. It was during one of my favorite stories of G.I. Joe at the time. It was when they were trying to prevent Cobra from getting Cobra Island. They had made some sort of um, tectonic explosion in the Gulf of Mexico, and it made the land come up, and they were able to create a landmass that the Cobras wanted to inhabit for Cobra, and the Joes had to prevent that. And Quick Kick was in that battle on the battle tactical platform and the Whale and different places where he was involved in that battle. And it was a really cool story, and that's the story that Cobra won because they ended up having Cobra Island and defeating Joes and getting diplomatic immunity. So they had to stop the Joes from trying to invade their island. So that was all a success fight by Cobra. So then we're going to get into his vintage figure. There you go. Vintage figure. And so let's see. We have his sword and his nunchucks. I don't have his backpack, it looks like, but he's in pretty good shape. He's pretty solid. He's not too loose. He's a little loose, but not terribly loose. But he looks pretty good in that deco with the blue pouches and the gray belt and the bandana around his head there and stuff like that. He's got the little black thing there as well. And then his nunchucks and his sword. So let's see if we can put those in his hands. Put one in that hand. Yeah, it doesn't hold very well in that hand. So let me try the other hand for the nunchucks. We'll see. Yeah, that holds better. And we'll see if the sword will hold better there. Yeah, his hand's a little loose on that hand, so he doesn't really hold that sword very well. I'll try to turn it so that maybe it'll sit in there better. Yeah, there you go. So then I got his nunchucks on him and his sword. So he's ready to go. I'm going to put him back in his package because he's a little bit wobbly. Of course, I lost his sword. That's all right. Back in there. So I'll put him over here out of the way. And then we're going to go into the classified Quick Kick. So again, Quick Kick 116. I like that Bruce Lee type face. Very Sunbow-esque design with his face, but it definitely looks like a Bruce Lee type face as well. And I like the artwork on the side that they've been given these. So then we have the target artwork with the QR code to nowhere, and then the designations. So let's get into the designations and see what he has. Let's see. He has the that weird one like that. Has like a key and a sword. A key and a sword. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Intelligence. And then he has a knife, which I think that's bladed weapons. The knife, if I can find it. The knife. Yep, the knife is bladed weapons. And then he has the that net infiltration and then he has the martial arts. So those are your designations for Quick Kick. All right. So then we go to his photography artwork by Shooting the Galaxy, Matt and I think Alex. And then we have a couple call outs from his figure. Beautiful piece of artwork, photography artwork by Shooting the Galaxy again. In the background, you can see storm shadows back there. You have a seal there for when he was in the Arctic shooting those fudgy bar ads for the commercials. Really cool. I don't see anything else back there off the top of my head. No, it's just that. That's a really nice piece of art, though, I've got to say. So then we have the layout of the figure on the front with all of his accessories, a little bit of that artwork. It says G.I. Joe Quick Kick down there. So we can get him opened up. Again, first time we're opening this up. We've opened all of our figures so far in this series, from 00 Snake Eyes now up to 116 Quick Kick. We've also opened up 16 vintage packaged figures, and we started with our legacy and 60th anniversary with 110. So that first one has been opened. We'll be getting to a second one fairly shortly. So let's get the figure out of here first. There you go. Right off the bat, I can say there's some definite differences between this one and the vintage. First, there's a lot more deco on his togs, his gi togs, pants, whatever you want to call them. There's all that artwork on the side, both sides there. So that's definitely something new. And everything else looks pretty spot on. He's got a little bit difference in the deco, like the pouches were blue on the vintage one, they're not on this one, and the little wrist bands were black and these ones are gray, but he still has the bandana with the little gold the red chevron up there, so that's still white. His sash is still red with the stars. The main parts of his pants are black, similar, so very similar to his vintage figure, but a couple of different call outs, obviously. um, He's got that smirk on his face there, that smarmy smirk that Quick Kick always had, because he's an actor and he's funny. He's got a sense of humor about him. So we'll put him there. We'll get into a couple other things from his accessories. So they gave him a second head. So he has this head with more flayed hair, and he's kind of looking like he's whistling there. Because I think he does whistle in that Sunboat animated episode. So we'll put that over there. And then he has his backpack, his familiar red backpack. Now, he had one in the vintage. I just don't have it with mine. So there you go. And there's a couple of little sheaths on the top there for some swords to get some of his accessories on the figure, which I like. So I'm going to put that on the figure. There. So that is on there now. So then he has some throwing stars that was called out on the package, so you can stick that in his hand. It's kind of like a translucent, like see-through material with some stars, so you can technically add that to like his hands here, and it can look like he's throwing one of those stars that's on his sash. there, kind of like that. So since I have that there, let's call out some of these articulation points on him. Um, so he definitely has the butterfly shoulders. You can see them on there. He's got the double pin elbows, double pin knees. He's got the ab crunch. You can see that. He's got the head rocker. He's got the foot rocker and the secondary ankle articulation. The foot rocker is very prominent because of the way that this figure is designed with his feet bare like that. He's got the secondary, he's got the fist, the wrist articulation and the secondary wrist articulation with the weird like twist, so you can twist different things for the sword and everything. He does not have the secondary wrist articulation though, the higher wrist one. He does have the thigh and calf articulation, and so on. So he's got almost all the articulation points as most of the figures, except for just one. But he looks pretty good, I think, the way he's set up that way. All right, let's move on. So he's got two swords. Looks like two identical swords. Little brown deco and some silver on the blades there. So I'm going to put the swords in his backpack since his backpack is set up for the swords. I'm going to put them in there. One and two. There you go. Two swords. So then he has two nunchucks as well. So he has some little loops on the back of his belt there that you can put the nunchucks in. So I'll have to take his backpack back off to do that. So I'm going to leave, I think, no, I think I'm going to put them both in there. And they have some silver deco with some brown handles on there, both of them. I'm going to see if I can get them both in there. That's going to be a little tricky because trying to get them in there. This is a time when you want the accessories to be a little bit wibbly, so they're softer to maneuver. I wonder if I could go from the bottom. Yeah, so it's hard to get these in there because of the plastic being soft. I'm going to try to, maybe I can have him hunch over like that, see if I can get them in there. All right, I got one on there. See if I can get the other one. All right, I got that one. So now I have one more set to get in there. There's that one went much faster. Then I have that one. There. So I got both of those on there. His nunchucks in his back pouches there. Terrence Child, good morning. Have they released the new Spirit yet? No, not yet. But I'm sure we'll get one eventually. They did do a Night Force, I think a Night Force Spirit. But there's the no, I think it was the Sergeant Slaughter's Marauder Spirit that got released. It was with a 2-pack with another character. But Spirit version 2, Spirit version 3, the glider version, right? The glider version. I would like that actually, the Spirit glider version. I also like the foreign version of the Palatoy version of Spirit. I think there's 2 or 3 different versions of Spirit that would really be cool. Since he is my favorite Joe character, I would like more Spirit figures. All right, so then he comes with that call out that I told you guys about a while ago, the Fudgy Bar. So you get a little chocolate Fudgy Bar. So I'm going to put that in his hand. I'm going to put it in this hand. I have him holding that Fudgy Bar, since that was his advertisement type thing that he was supposed to be doing up in the Antarctic. So he's advertising his Fudgy Bars, and he's got his throwing star that he pulled off of his sash there. And then we have a whole bunch of different hands. I mean, he came with like 3 sets of hands. This is probably the most sets of hands the figure came with. Excuse that noise. So he's got 2 karate hands, a right and a left karate hand. There. And 2 sets of fists, or I should say a set of fists, a right and left set of fists. So I'm not changing any of his hands. I'm going to leave the hands that I have. The 2 hands that he has are both gripping hands. One, he's got the throwing star in one, and he's got the Fudgy Bar in the other. So I think that's apropos for a quick kick. I'm going to get a stand out so I can get him to stand up on his own. There. We'll put that in there. See how that looks. All right, so spread his legs out a little bit. Get him on there. Good. And there's your quick kick. Ready to sell his Fudgy Bars and ready to join G.I. Joe in action. So he's got a few extra accessories. I've been storing all my extra accessories in my Vamp locker. So all the ones that don't have the weapons crates anymore, now that we have the new packaging, I've been putting all their accessories inside the Vamp weapons locker. So if we get any bases or any kind of play sets where we can store weapons, then I'll be able to store a lot of the weapons with those bases and play sets. That'll be something I would like to get. Play sets that you have, like lockers, or you have storage facilities or what have you, to put a lot of that stuff away in those figures, for those figures, because I have the weapons crates, obviously, but that can only last so long, you know. So that is Quick Kick. I hope you guys enjoyed this Quick Kick episode. It's fun. Quick Kick's a unique character. Like I said, he was a quirky character in Sunbow, but I think Francois Chow did a good job voicing the character, and I enjoyed his interpretation of it. And in the comics, he has a lot of really cool issues where he fights different people. There was a cover issue, I think it was 50, might have been 52 or 53, where he's fighting Storm Shadow on the cover. And a friend of mine that passed away did me a beautiful piece of artwork for that cover, an interpretation of that cover of Storm Shadow fighting Quick Kick, and I have it framed in one of my G.I. Joe rooms. And so it's very sad when I think about that, because he's a really good guy, but he was a very sickly person and had a lot of medical ailments. But I was glad to get that. So Quick Kick has a place in my heart as certain fond memories of the character growing up and as an adult. But one of the interesting things about him is because of the way he's set up in this costume, in more vintage inspired costume, Lenny and the Hasbro team felt that it was necessary to get another Quick Kick in the line. And so we will get another Quick Kick down the road from a different faction. And it will not be a redeco of this. It will be a completely new version of Quick Kick in a line that we never got a Quick Kick before. So it'll be a completely new version of Quick Kick that we've never gotten in the line prior, or the brand prior. So that's going to be really cool when we get into that. So we got our next one is going to be 117. It's going to be a Cobra, one of my all-time favorite Cobra troop builders. And we kind of looked at this troop builder already in a certain way. I'm not going to spoil it too much, but hopefully that gives you enough clues to figure out who our next figure is going to be. That will be tomorrow. And we're just moving right along. We got a bunch of really fun things coming up with figures, some deluxe figures, some figure and vehicles, and another 60th anniversary, a whole bunch of interesting things that we got coming up that'll keep this pretty lively. And then I think I have a comic book episode coming up probably sometime this week. There's not going to be a Toy Talk Live on Sunday at 2 this week. If you were looking forward to that, there will not be an episode of that this week. Everybody has obligations that they cannot do that. My co-hosts Terry Ruin and Dan Thompson are both preoccupied with other things, adulting things in their lives, and so we will not be doing that episode this week. So maybe we will be back next week. But since we are not going to do that this week, that gives me an opportunity to showcase some new items that I got in. And one of those new items is Mainframe. Blaine Mainframe Parker. So there's Mainframe. Came in yesterday. I think it looks perfect. Very vintage inspired, very spot on. I like the fact that they make this a real world like type line of people, so the heights are different. So everybody has different heights and stuff like that. And I love the fact that he's got like his helmet. He's got a helmeted, a hat head with a radio on it. He's got tons of equipment here. He's very loaded out for this character, Mainframe. So he looks really good. On the back, we have that photography artwork that looks really, really cool. I'm trying to see if I see anything. This has got to be like during the deserts, when he was kind of out in the desert with Dusty, and I don't know, him and Zorana had a little thing going there too. So I don't know. It looks really cool in that piece of artwork, I've got to say. But that's Mainframe. And then I also got Wetsuit. So Wetsuit is just Wetsuit. He's very, very vintage inspired there. Again, he looks a little bit bulkier that buck looks bulkier than the other divers that I've seen. So I'm not sure if that's the same figure. I always thought it was a redeco of one of the other figures, but that looks a bit bulkier to me just looking at it through the package. And then there's, oh, I forgot to show you the mainframe artwork on that side there. Cool. And then the wetsuit artwork, and then some photography artwork there. And there's, looks like a shark. Yeah, a shark back there, and a derelict scow or something that's underneath there, a derelict ship that's crashed. He's out there doing his thing, and you can see some of those call outs there as well. This is going to be really fun to get into both of these. So these are 78 and 79, and then yesterday I did 77 and 76, Grim Viper and Sci-Fi. So then I also got something that I've been looking for a while, and I've been waiting to get it at a halfway decent price, is my 1986 Swoop to go with my Dinobot set. So now I have all the 86 Dinobot figures, and this is way bigger than I thought he was going to be. Look how bulky that is, and you can see compared to a classified figure, that's a very big figure for the Dinobots. Now I can start getting some of the other 86 characters like Devastator, the Insecticons, and stuff like that. I just get the 86 line, and I get the collabs, Transformers G.I. Joe collabs, and then I'll get stuff like the San Diego Comic-Con Void Rivals stuff, weird oddball things, and occasionally I'll see a really nice Optimus. He's my favorite character, so I get a lot of Optimus Primes. So this looks really nice, though. I'm very, very happy to finally have this set complete for my Transformers collection. So there. And then I talked about my Micronauts yesterday. So those are a few new things that I got in this in the last couple of days. So hopefully we're getting up to that 200 mark. The subs mark, so we'll do another video, special video there. We're going to do a fun top 10. You guys gave me some ideas for top 10s, and we'll do another Street Fighter figure there, and we'll it might be in time to do another HasLab. If we can get up to 200 subs in time to do another HasLab opening at the same time, that'll make that a really large video. It'd be fun if we could do that, but it all depends on you guys. So like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button. Right now, the number one thing you guys can do to help this channel grow is to share these videos out as much as possible, because that's going to help us get to the next next sub place. So next week, if you're in the Central Florida area and you would like to go to the Dirty South Meetup G.I. Joe convention, it is December 6th in Apopka. You could search it out on Facebook. It's all over the place. The showrunner, Albert Torres, did the show for about 4 years. Then he took a 5-year hiatus. He's brought it back this year. So I will be going to it. It'll be on Saturday, December 6th. So I look forward to going there, and hope maybe I'll do a video there from the show and showcase a bunch of the cool stuff. There'll be a bunch of guests there, and it should be a really fun time. So if any of you guys are watching are going to go, I look forward to seeing you. Try to find me and say hello, because I like meeting you guys. It's cool. And I think that's going to cover us for Quick Kick. So we got our classified and our vintage Quick Kicks. Very cool. And so this is a big Yo Joe video. So Yo Joe. Thank you guys again. We'll see you in the next one.